Oddity fine. I got some economy cocks, a gin and tonic on the rocks, where angels fear to tread. I say, choose your booze, let's hit the red eye. Think of young Diana Durbin and how she sung on rum and bourbon. Or enhance your luncheon hour with a planter's punch and a whiskey sour. If you feel like a wreck, try a horse's neck or a sherry with a cherry in the new finer size. If you don't name your poison, I'll have to get the boys in. The spirit of adventure opens one's eyes.
Metal Gen, tonight, whatever, we have a special one.
We are going to read another story by RainbowBob, the author of Seriously, which is right now our most popular reading by far.
Yep, anyway.
It is this recent month it has just passed 1,000 views.
Yeah. Anyway, this story is called Hades is Such a Great Neighbor by
RainbowBob.
So, without further ado, let's get right into the middle of the pie.
Oh, and if you couldn't tell already by the picture, this is Hades from the Disney movie Hercules. Even though he should be called Heracles!
According to the original Greek, because it was meant as an insult to Hera.
But, semantics.
Anyway, Chapter 1. Out of Pudding. The underworld, a deep pit in the center of existence that burns with the hellfire of billions of damned souls. Here they get tortured, punished for their crimes on the mortal plane. Their souls shall suffer for all eternity in the dark hole of sin, properly called Tartarus, with no hope or chance of redemption. A pitiful fate for even the most heinous of villains, and of course the biggest villain of all, runs the place. Will you two shut up? Hades, Lord of Death, yelled, his normal pale bluish-gray skin turning a crimson red, as his blue-flamed hair bursting out the hot yellow inferno. The two in question for that order, Pain and Panic, properly cowered before their master.
So sorry, master! Please don't boil us in oil!
Pain cried, his bulbous, short body jiggling in fear.
Our poor scorpions down our throats!
Panic added, his thin body shaking like a tree in a hurricane.
Or throw us into the lava pit! Or have our eyes plucked out by harpies! Or have an ensemble of demons bludgeon us with rubber chickens! Or...
Did you not hear me the first time? Shut up! Hades bellowed with an inferno blasting off his body, an entire underworld rumbling from the power of his voice. Both of his minions promptly fell silent. Panic huddled in Panic's arms as the two discreetly backed away.
Well, the guy is a god. One of the original three gods.
Yes, brother of
Zeus and Poseidon. And sister to Hera.
And Hera, who married Zeus. I'm not getting into that incestuous tree. Anyway,
Greek mythology is a...
It's like the Lannisters. They know they're related, but that doesn't stop them. Hades sighed and fell in the seat of his throne, his raging red skin and yellow flames dying down to the normal blue and gray hues. Rubbing the bridge of his brow, he thought back on why he was living such a miserable existence. Okay, so his plans to take over Olympus failed. Yet again. So his plans to kill that damn hero? Hercules.
Heracles!
Shut up, I'm reading it as it's written.
Right.
Their last showdown resulted in being thrown into the river Styx. That was not a pleasant experience. It took him forever to drag himself out of that. And now he was just doing his job of ruling the underworld. And I'm so bored, Hades said, finishing his own thoughts. Nothing to do but torture souls and make insidious plans. Hades did indeed have a couple of new ideas for his comeback to Olympus, and his eventual ruling of it, but none of them especially tickled his fancy. What he needed was a grand, spectacular plan, though releasing the Titans last time was going to be hard to beat.
They're Titans!
They're dead. Deciding that maybe some food. Come and think. He got out of his throne and made his way to his refrigerator. While he didn't need the food to survive because his god status, the taste of mortal delicacies was always a nice treat. Opening it, He started shoving the assorted food stuff in each search for something appealing. Pickles? Nah, let's see. How long has his cheese been in there? He inspected the green monstrosity in his fingers, the dairy product wiggling and moving as if it was alive, which it probably was at this point. Nope, he said, tossing the cheese over his shoulder as he dug deeper into the fridge. Weak old Chinese food? Not gonna happen. Potato salad? Not one this color. He continued his search until he'd thrown out practically all the contents of the fridge, most of the discarded food crawling and slithering away. Why is there nothing to eat? He yelled, furious. He couldn't even enjoy a bite of food. And where's my pudding cups? I specifically remember getting some only a week ago. A slight cough from his left brought his gaze to pain and panic. Both were whistling innocently, hands behind their backs. If they weren't imps, a halo would have appeared above their heads. Crossing his arms, he approached the duo, his robe trailing smoke as he moved towards them without taking a step. Towering over the short, fat Pain and the thin, long-nosed Panic, he leaned forward and said, "What happened to my pudding cups?" Both imps nearly shook out of their skin, which had happened on occasion. Both too terrified out of their minds to speak. It was Panic who finally broke the silence, pointing twig-like arm at Pain.
He didn't! I mean, look at him! He's so fat he probably ate all of them!
Fat one, being accused, leapt back and pointed his own finger at Panic.
That's a lie! It was obviously him! His mouth is big enough to swallow an entire sea of pudding!
Panic's pointy nose poked Pain in the face as he thought his eyeball was close to Pain's.
Says you, fatso!
Pain returned the stare, leaned even closer, their eyeballs practically fondling each other.
Says you, big mouth! Lie bite! Pencil nose! Pot belly! Twig boy!
Hades grabbed the pair by their necks, their eyeballs probably popping out of their heads as their throats were squeezed like wet sponges. Listen, I don't care who ate my pudding cups. I really don't. Whoever admits to doing it gets off scot-free. Okay? Hades said to the pair, giving the two a devious, sharp-toothed grin. He loosened his grip on their necks so that they may speak. Glancing at each other for a moment, in frantic terror, they yelled, "Okay. We both did it!" Hades nodded his head. Thought so. He then began to twist their necks and bodies together, the pair of imps now resembling a pretzel. "Hey, Cerberus! Who wants a treat?" He called the guard dog. The demonic three-headed canine brought his attention from guarding the entrance to the underworld to the new toy presented before him. All three of the dog's heads barked happily as Hades threw his new toy to him.
That was my Cerberus impression. Oh! I bet. Okay.
You said we both got scot-free! Pain and Panic yelled just before the maw of teeth devoured them. I lied! He laughed, enjoying the sounds of their screams as Cerberus tore them apart. They'd be fine afterward. But to hear their shrieks of pain always put a smile on the Lord of Death's face. Walking past Cerberus and his new toy, he sauntered his way through Tartarus, taking in the sights. Maybe he'd even go out to buy some groceries and pudding cups. Lava pits were burning nicely. The wicked being pushed deeper into the magma by the pitchforks of some worker demons. The hills, he could watch souls push a large boulder up a hill every day, only for it to fall to the bottom once it was reached the top, process beginning anew once again. Then there was the river Styx.
Oh God, the river Styx!
Lady!
Oh, come on, it sticks! Come sail away! Come sail away! Come sail away with me, lads! Come sail away! Come sail... Fine!
Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Hades chose to avoid
By the way, for the record, we both love Styx.
Yes. Mm-hmm. After his previous visit there, resulting in that hero Hercules punching him into the vortex, he didn't even go near it. The icy pull of millions of souls dragging him beneath the surface was really unpleasant, and even for the Lord of Death himself. It took an eternity to pull himself out, and he spent another eternity beating the crap out of Pain and Panic for leaving him there. Let's see.
Right here.
He neared the edge of the underworld now, the border marked by the river Styx. He briefly considered going back to Greece, but threw out the plan. Like I don't want to return to those ingrates. When I make my grand arrival, all of Olympus will tremble before my might! Hades shouted, his arms spread wide as he did a stereotypical villain laugh. Ha 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 ha! He stopped when he realized that no one was around, and he was laughing like a maniac all by himself. Oh yeah, he left Pan in panic with the Cerberus.
The Cerberus?
Hey, it's only one.
Alright.
His expression turned somber and he slouched forward as he floated above the river and crossed it. The pained cries of souls in agony beneath him, comforting him slightly. The edge of the river Styx appeared close, and Hades wondered what world he would appear in this time. He was the Lord of Death for all of existence, meaning he had quite the vicinity of death to cover. And since he wasn't returning to Greece, whatever world on the other side would be completely random. Hope they at least have pudding, Hades muttered. Oh, they will have pudding. Hope they at least have pudding, Hades muttered. He set his foot on the other side of the river, his body passing the glowing force field of light that marks the entrance to the living world. Stepping into the mortal plane once more, Hades cracked his neck and knuckles, shouting, Oh yeah, baby, it's good to be back! He walked towards the cave exit, the light at the end showing the world's time was somewhere in the afternoon to early evening range. Never really bothered to know what time in the underworld, since it was always dark, with no way to discern the days, months, eons. Finally reaching the light and flinching at its brightness, Hades entered this new world. It was sunny and happy-looking. There was a field of green flowers growing nearby, the breeze causing petals to float through the air. A grassy meadow spread out before him, with a small orchard nearby filled to the brim with ripe fruit. The sky was rich and blue, not a cloud in the sky. The hell type of sunny, fun nightmare did I walk into? Hades asked himself in contrast to the underworld. This world was a major turnoff. A couple of birds tweeted nearby and landed on his shoulders. Within a few seconds, they fell to the ground, crispy and charred black. Well, I do need groceries, Hades said, a small basket in the shape of a skull appearing in his hand. Summoned by his powers, straining his eyes, he spotted smoke in the distance. Ah, town! They must have food. And with that, the god of the underworld drifted toward the small town, a trail of smoke coming from his robe as it followed him.
Twilight? How much longer?
Spike complained, the small dragon lugging a small pack on his back.
I answered that only 5 seconds ago.
Twilight reminded him of the mare carrying a saddle filled to the brim with supplies.
Right after yet one last item at the market. But I thought we already got everything.
Spike asked her.
Not everything. Once we get some eggs, we'll go back to the library. Think you can handle that?
She asked, a small smile on her lips, daring him to find an answer differently. Grumbling under his teeth and shifting the pack in his back in a more comfortable position on his back, he answered, Fine! Grinning in triumph, the pair made their way to the market to get eggs, the unicorn enjoying the stroll as their assistant silently pouted. There was such a happy mood, she didn't even notice the ponies running away in fear all around her, or the ones who screamed in shock, or even the one particular mare that kept on shouting, Where are your lives? Oh, Miss Lost! Nope. Twilight was thoroughly enjoying this stroll to the market, all right.
Well, when you live in Ponyville and life and death experiences are a regular occurrence, you tend to ignore these things. Especially when you're the elements of goddamn magic.
Unfortunately for her, she bumped into a tall figure in her way when she wasn't paying attention. Falling to her rump while Spike crashed into her back, rubbing her head, she said,
Oh, sorry about that. I didn't see...
But her sentence was cut off when she brought her attention to the stranger who had walked into. He was tall, bipedal creature with large muscles. She guessed it was a he by facial features alone. A long chin, pointy nose, furrowed brow, and a mouthful of razor-sharp teeth. And strangely enough, his head was on fire. I am the god of hellfire, and I bring you fire. I'll teach you to burn. Anyway, It's like all his hair had been replaced with blue flames. His skin was a strange hue of light grayish blue, and his robes developed into smoke at the bottom. Hades examined the creature he had bumped into him. The moment he had entered the town, they all ran in fright, so he didn't really get a good look at them. It was a small horse thingy. A unicorn by the looks of it. That wasn't quite strange, since Hades had seen plenty of unicorns in his existence. But this one was purple, had the strangest hair color style I'd ever seen, and it was hyperventilating. Shaking in her hooves, Twilight squeaked.
Ew!
So they can talk, huh? This was apparently a female, rather, or a really effeminate male. Tapping his elongated chin and a sharp finger, he thought. He leaned forward, and with a wicked smile on his face, his hand extended forward. Name's Hades, Lord of the Dead. How you doing?
And that concludes Chapter 1.
Well, little Jen, we'll have to return to this one. This one's getting fun.
Yeah, plus it's always fun to follow the exploit.
Also, quick question to you, RainbowBob. Was the pudding cups a reference to, Billy Madison?
Where's my snack pack?
I thought I was your snack pack. You're weird. Anyway,
yeah, we'll definitely be between this one. And it's always fun to follow the exploits of the Greek gods.
Also, well, depends. Disney's Greek gods, the watered down ones, are the ones where they just hump constantly.
Actually,
a hump, a hump, a hump, a hump, a hump.
Good question. Hades is planning his return to Olympus. Could Celestia, in theory, take on Zeus?
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Zeus is the lord of Olympus, king of the sky. His symbol is the lightning bolt and the eagle. The motherfucker can cast down lightning bolts and destroy chunks of land. He is the Captain Kirk of the Greeks. He has fucked and fought his way out of more battles than any real man should ever possibly do. And I'm not talking about Kirk. Hey, Zeus killed his own father, Kronos, who had killed his own father, Uranus, in order to attain Olympus, because Kronos had seen a prophecy that his own children would take over the throne instead of him, and he devoured them one by one. And then Zeus gave him a potion that caused him to vomit up all his children, who were full grown, by the way, because gods, that's how they work. And then essentially they fought a long battle, killed him, and as a part of the punishment, because he was a Titan, Atlas was made to bear the earth on his back. Semantics, mental gem. But Zeus is the goddamn Lord of Thunder. The reason why he split up the entire earth into three parts, the underworld, the ocean, and the earth, and sky, which are kind of kept in one, was so that way no single god could ever attain the power of Kronos. Again, the dictatorial godhood. So, Hades effectively, actually Zeus, kind of technically created the first democracy. In myth form. The Greeks, they did their own thing. But, really, Celestia, I can raise the sun. Bitch, please. Lightning bolt! Lightning bolt! Lightning bolt!
Actually, I think the moment the two met each other, Zeus would just look at her and suddenly not care that she's a horse.
Well, no. Well, actually, lest we forget, the myth of the Minotaur, abridged, mental gem. Once there was the Queen of Minos, who was madly in love with this white bull. So she contacted the brilliant architect and designer Daedaltheus, wink wink, and had him construct for her an artificial bull for her to lay in, such that Zeus, in bull form, could get his freak on. And several months later, she gave birth to the creature known as the Minotaur, of which Daedalus also designed the labyrinth for in the island of Minos, in the kingdom of Minos, actually, and of which the only woman who knew the way through was Ariadne. I have just explained a lot about Inception, haven't I? Anyway, so Ariadne would lead the hero to kill the Minotaur, because the king of Minos is kind of ashamed that, you know, half bull, half human.
There are two things you do not challenge Daedaltheus here on.
Yep.
One is architecture. The guy bends architecture over the table and makes it his bitch.
Of course!
After he buys
I'd buy it the most exquisite dinner and the most lovely scented roses first.
Architecture is a high maintenance woman. But worth it.
Oh, no. Studio, she's a harsh mistress. Architecture, she is a bullwhip cracking, motherfucking lace, leather bondaged woman.
And the other thing you do not challenge him on is Greek mythology.
I'm well versed, not as well versed as I was in high school, but
good enough.
Yep.
The man just laid out for you the founding of Olympus and the Minotaur. Abridged, but
in
more
3
or less.
minutes, no less.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, a little fuzzy details on the Titans, because technically there's two... Actually, no, there's one group of Titans, and then there's the First Order of Gods. The Titans were Gaia, Uranus, Ocean... Chaos was the thing that birthed them all.
Dude, we're going to be here all day if you keep this up.
Namazni, Rhea... No, wait, Rhea was part of the Second Order.
We're going to be here all day. Whatever. Anyway, the point is, back with this story, this was fun.
Yes.
We will definitely return to this one. Because I really would like to see where Hades goes with this.
And I'll try and decide more on a more appropriate... I can't really do James... None of us can do James Woods here. But I'll try and settle on a more appropriate voice.
Alright then.
Perhaps a more Flagian voice for you.
Whatever.
Till next time.
Goodbye. And good night. Or good day.
Good night and
Whatever.
good luck, Mental Judd.
Good luck to you all.